game, pushing that through other channels, through our community. It will not be the one solution, do exactly this and you will succeed. I think it's very difficult to drive traffic from the web to mobile, but at least I think I can give you some good ideas on how you could do similar things and inspire you to think about this topic and get some ideas. And I don't have the silver bullet, unfortunately, but I'll show you what we did. So, really what it's about is if you have somebody using a computer, being in a browser, playing on a community, transfer that user from the PC to the mobile phone is of course physically difficult because there is really no connection when you're sitting in a browser. How do you get your game to the phone? That's really the issue, right? So Stardoll, to begin with, is so you get an understanding of where we're coming from. It's a fairly big community. It's the biggest community for teenage girls out there. 220 million registered users, 20 to 30 million per month or so. 28 languages, America and Brazil being our main markets. Headquarters is in Stockholm, Sweden. But we have a lot of users on the web. So and we want them to start playing our mobile games as well. So we definitely have to solve this problem, and I think we have a possibility to do this. We have very engaged users. We should be able to get them to understand that our mobile games are fun. So to begin with, first of all, the most important thing is if you have a community like Stardoll, for example, which is teenage girls that are interested in fashion, communicating with each other, socializing, you have to have a relevant product for them. If I were to push a racing game through Stardoll, you know, it wouldn't work. But we had a game called Fashion Inc., which is just about this. Take your fashion shop in Paris, and you create your designs, you manufacture them, you sell them to the virtual people in the game, and you earn more money and you progress in the game. We thought this will be, you know, right down the alley for our users. So that's checkbox number one. The other main areas I would like to touch on then is, first of all, create an interest in your community for this mobile game that's coming. You can do this in different ways. Create a brand awareness of let's see now here. You know, just generally have the people understand what games are what the game is about, and also create a reason for these users that are on your community to play this mobile game. You know, why should they do this? There should be some sort of reason, and I'll talk about how we did this exactly. Cool. So about creating the buzz. You know, as I said in the beginning, it's really difficult to just show a banner and have somebody being interested in that banner showing on the PC and understand that this is a cool mobile game I should play. So our team at Stardoll, who creates a lot of banners, they did a interactive banner that shows how this game is played, basically. So when you saw this banner on the web, you could select a design and then what kind of pattern it would be. So this was interactive. You were clicking on the item, you were clicking on the patterns, and you could see how your bag was transforming. And this was really telling the users, this is what the game is about. So, you know, just a picture banner, you know, that won't take you very long. Do something creative. Be innovative when it comes to the banner space you're going to use, and explain to the user what the mobile game is about. We also did contests with user-generated content. So in the community, you could start to see what your peers, what your friends in the community had done in the mobile game. That was uploaded by us. They sent the pictures of the designs they've done and sent them to us, and we posted that online, and you could start seeing what your friends were doing in this mobile game to create an interest. That started, having the community talking about this and creating like a viral factor. Of course, if you have a big enough community, you will have people writing about this. We have several different blogs on the topic of Stardoll. So we contacted, of course, these bloggers and told them there's a mobile game coming along. Now you have to trust them for being, wanting to talk about your game. You can't just tell them like, hey, write this about us, please. You have to really respect the bloggers, of course. But we kept them informed, and they gave us a good, really good coverage of what was going on. And then, hard to convert, yes. A banner to a mobile download is very, very difficult, but what we did was just spamming our community basically for over a weekend with different kinds of banners. And this, until today, have generated quite a lot of impressions. So I checked the stats here a couple of weeks ago, and so far with the campaigns we've been doing, we have 193 million impressions. Of that, 5.5 million clicks on the creatives, on the banners. So really, we did get a lot of eyeballs on our banners. This is how the banners looked, and when applied in the community. This is Stardoll. This is the first page you'll see when you come in. And our game, Fashion Inc., was just totally taking over that website. Cool. Another thing we're able to do in our community, because it's kind of a gamified community, it's really a game, right? Is to insert information in the environment of the users so that they can learn about the game, the mobile game. And that little bag there in the right corner shows up in the home, the suite of the player, and it dazzles a little bit, and you want to click that, and if you click that, you get some information about the mobile game, and it tells you about how to download this. There we go. Also, in the game itself, we made a connection to Stardoll. So if you just downloaded this game and never heard of Stardoll, you didn't have to care about this, but if we inform all the users on Stardoll that if you download this game and you log in with your Stardoll username and password and register in the mobile game, you will get special items, special gifts when you play the game that you won't be able to get in any other way. So, for example, here I completed a mission in the mobile game, and I get this blue dress to send to my Stardoll account. And this really drives retention, right? Because people are starting in the community talking about how did you get that blue dress, how did you get that item? It's not available anywhere in the Stardoll community. Well, you have to play this game, you have to play it for a while, you have to do this and this to get it. And this is a really powerful factor for incentivizing our users to download the game and keep on playing it. Then, it also comes down to, of course, you should be able to have the user download get the link to download the game on their phones. That's the disconnect, right? So how do you do that? We did a couple of different tests. Strangely enough, QR codes. We had banners with QR codes. So people were absolutely taking a picture with their phone off the computer screen and using that link generated by the QR code to download the game. That happened quite a lot more than we thought. And it's kind of a strange process, I think, for downloading, but it absolutely works. Do that. QR codes is absolutely works on the screen as well, apparently. But then, of course, write in your email here, and we'll send you an email to your phone then, of course. And if you click on the link there, you get to the App Store and you can download the game. That's obvious stuff. We've also been experimenting a little bit with write in your mobile telephone number, and you'll get a text message with the link. I think that can be a very good solution. Right now, it seems to be fairly expensive and also some technical limitations. And we have also users all over the world, so it's not easy to find suppliers who can do this worldwide. But I think that's something that definitely can be explored more. And sorry for my confusion here a little bit. These are the old slides and not the new ones, so I need to look at them and figure out what I was saying. Lessons learned. What we learned from this was it doesn't. If you do this on a community, it will not give you that burst. So when you launch a game, you want as many downloads as possible in the first couple of days, right? To drive up the ranks of the app stores and be visible and get this viral effect. So you'll get up on the top chart of free games or whatever it is. Doing this kind of activities on a community, on a web page, won't really give you a burst, but it will give you a long tail. It really works over a couple of weeks, so it's good. Don't think you can market your game through a community only, because for us, we would never do that. It's a very good value add for us to do it, but we combine this with the regular type of traffic acquisition that you should always do. And there's definitely some issues, some tasks to be solved when you venture into this. Definitely recommend you to test a lot. Test the banners, test it on your users beforehand to make sure that they understand what the creatives is about before you launch this. Because when you do launch it, it has to work. So take the time. With some great efforts, it can be a very good and powerful solution, even though you have that big disconnect between a computer and a mobile phone. But definitely go ahead and do it if you have the right game for that particular community. That was everything. Questions?
So, does anyone have any questions out there? I mean, I'll kick off anyway, because I like doing that. I mean, I think what I take from this is that even if you've got a community, you can't take for granted that they'll convert between platforms, which I think is an incredibly important lesson for all of us looking at cross-platform experiences. Your techniques seem to all be about getting that transition happening, and I think, would you say it's the combination of different techniques that's working? The more you do, the more you convert, or is it that one particular technique worked and others didn't?
No, some techniques definitely work better than others, but if you're doing these efforts, yes, do everything. You will need as many downloads as you can. So for us, it wasn't a question about saving time or not doing everything. I think also if you have a community, you're taking over a community, the sheer impact of impressions you get over the day doesn't mean that a banner that's only been seen and not clicked on was worthless in any way. People, it will stick in their minds, so do as much as possible.
And I was also wondering whether there was a flow the other way, whether you saw new audiences finding the application on mobile with a different mode of use that entails, and then transitioning onto the website. Did that happen at all?
No, I don't think so, honestly. Perhaps, but we have just between the launch of this Fashion Inc. Game on mobile and today we had 17 or 20 million about more users registered on Stardoll, and figuring out who might have come from the mobile game and from other sources that's impossible. So maybe, but it's hard to say.
But again, I think this is important. I mean, I don't know how many of you in the room are thinking about cross-platform games, but here is a brand that is incredibly successful with a niche audience and does a great job of making a mobile experience with that, but still is very acutely aware of the differences of the way that those players take up that experience on the device they use. And I think that we can all know whether we're doing niche content to a particular audience or whether we're doing content to a more generic audience. These are really important lessons, I think, generally. So, any more questions? Any more? Oh, no.
I wonder if you could educate us some of the specific challenges you have with marketing to children or people under the age of 13 for things like COPPA compliance reasons.
We don't. I'm not interested in anyone under 13 with these games, mainly because they don't monetize that well, and I also think it's questionable to do, free-to-play games in the sense we're doing it to too young kids. Was discussed by the previous speaker here, and I think it's not an audience I was looking for with Fashion Inc. So we didn't target them at all with this marketing. For Stardoll, it's a big issue, but really our target audience isn't under 13. But we are complying with everything, and in US we're registered with the Prevo, and we comply with all the rules. So sort of, yeah.
Well, I think that's a huge area, and it's an area of much debate, as I'm sure you know. And I think the thing for me is that rolling out free-to-play as a principle for kids is the wrong way to do it. But at the same time, if you're going to go down that route, you've got to understand the compliance issues, you've got to understand the moderation issues, you've got to take great care, and actually think about free-to-play differently. It's not about making as much money as possible out of a player. It's actually about making players able to make a decision to buy, but not in the App Store, but making that decision to buy inside the gaming experience where they know that that's valuable to do. And I think by taking that kind of mindset difference, you can actually make a sensible, ethical, safe, free-to-play experience. But what you're selling, who you're selling to, is not the child necessarily, but the child's parents or guardians, I would argue. Any other questions? I'm sure there must be one more question out there. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, we're going to be okay. We're going to be shy. Okay, in that case, I'm going to thank Tobias for his very lightning talk. And
let me know if you're interested in the deck. I'm happy. Give me your business card. I'm happy to send you the new deck rather than this old one. And just give me your email, and I'll shoot it over to you. Thanks.
And I'd love to see getting videos of those games on every play as well, but that's another subject for another time. Okay, so